You are welcome to this channel. Don't forget to like, to share, and also to subscribe. In the news, looming Fubara return. Move for emergency rule extension collapses as IBAS get handover notes. Following a closed-door meeting between President Bola Tinubu and the sole administrator of Rivers State, Vice Admiral Ibok Ibas, retired, in the presidential villa last Wednesday, there are strong indications that suspended Governor Siminalayi Fubara, his deputy Professor Ngozi Odu, and the 32 members of the House of Assembly may return on September 18, 2025. According to a source privy to this development, the detailed handover note should explain all the funds inherited from Fubara, revenues accrued within the 6 months of the emergency rule and their respective sources, as well as expenditures during his stewardship and the various projects the funds were channeled into within the period under review with clear specifications. The Wednesday night's high-stakes meeting therefore nailed the coffin of a frantic move by powerful forces in the National Assembly to help push for a 3-month extension period for Ibas, which will have seen him remaining in the saddle till December 2025. Those behind this move were of the opinion that, according to the source, the 3 months window will allow Ibas to complete some of the key ongoing projects like the reconstruction of the demolished House of Assembly complex, the ongoing workers' verification exercise, and the installation of sensitive equipment in government institutions. If this move had scaled through the hurdle, then Fubara and all the democratic institutions will only need to wait till January 2026 to be restored. However, with the peace deal struck, whether Pyrrhic or long-lasting, the Federal Capital Territory FCT Minister Nyesom Wike is vehemently against such backdoor scheme and wants the emergency rule lifted as soon as practicable on September 18. Recall that on Saturday, August 30th, after casting his vote during the local government election, Wike said the governor and assembly members are ready to return to Government House. 2 days after, the state chairman of the All Progressive Congress APC, Chief Tony Okocha, re-echoed that the September 18 date was sacrosanct. The source hinted that the marching order was that Ibas must submit his administrative report to the president's table 2 days before his return from vacation, adding that the president may likely make a pronouncement to lift the emergency rule on September 18, a date that will make it exactly 6 months since the state of emergency was proclaimed. On March 18, President Tinubu proclaimed emergency rule in Rivers State to douse political tension between Wike and Fubara. Sharing his thoughts on Fubara's return, a Port Harcourt-based human rights activist who did not want his name in print said, upon his return from vacation, Mr. President's next foreign trip will be to New York, where he is expected to attend the United Nations Assembly. There, he is going to be face to face with advanced democracies and civil societies. It is only morally right, as a self-styled Democrat, for him to lift the suspension and restore democratic institutions in Rivers State to avoid the backlash from the harsh American media. Meanwhile, Fubara, who is currently in London with his family, may likely return to the country anytime soon to resume duties. When he returns, he will then be handed over a list of political appointees, including commissioners that he will work with, another source said. These are some of the submission of the ongoing, intrigues that are behind the scene as regards restoration of democratic institutions in Rivers State. Of course, we all could recall that in March 18, President Tinubu had to intervene in the crisis between the faction of Nyesom Wike, the former governor of Rivers State, and the faction of Siminalayi Fubara, the incumbent governor Asaden of Rivers State. And when they are some of their supporters are beginning to bomb federal pipeline it resulted into a pragmatic action that has to be taken by the president that led to the suspension of all the people in question in the democratic institution for 6 months. Thereby, a state of emergency was declared, and the president had to bring in a sole administrator who reports directly even to him. And looking at the fact that the 6 month period will be elapsing by the end of 17th of September, and the matter in question, those who are the people actors of the problem have decided to sheath their sword, and then they also broke up peace, and a lot of things, a lot of water have gone under the bridge as regards maintaining peace. So if there is peace now, what else do they want? What's the problem again? And what is important is that the administration should be restored and allow them to continue and to give the best to their people, because you cannot compare a state of emergency to real democratic institution. The people will be able to, relate with whoever they have given their mandate to, unlike the one that was in court now, brought in by the federal government. They might be seeing that as an imposition. And to make the matter worse, he is a non-indigenous who knows nobody and won't be biased and will not be able to share some of their individual fundamental sentiments. And also, while they want to discuss some of their areas with him, he may not be that conversant with it and may not really readily even fully believe or understand the seriousness of what they are trying to say. But all things being equal, the belief of Rivers State people is that it is better to have indigenes around, and they'll be able to express themselves and approach him and also call his attention to where shoe pinches them, and they believe he will be able to, solve even their problem. And not only that, if he fails, of course, they have their voting power and rights to remove him. But in the case of a sole administrator, it's like a necessary devil. You can't chase it away, neither can you move closer to it, and he has to live by it. So for 6 months now, the River State people have been living by that. Their destiny has been altered. But in few days now, the belief is that everything will return to normal, that Mr. President will restore, and he is going to United Nations too after he returned from his working vacation. He might not want to be criticized by the harsh American, press, and also you want to have one or good thing or the other to say with the assembly as regards democratic institutions in Nigeria. So be it as it may, the president will be coming home even to announce the restoration of Fubara, and the other is deputy with the lawmakers maybe on come September 18. Let's keep our fingers crossed and see what is going to happen. Don't forget to like, to share, and also to subscribe to our channel. Thank you.